My work ranges. It's hard for me to like put it in a specific style. The recent style I've been doing, I call it Western psychedelia, which is like Western images and kind of with this twist of really bright colors and high contrast and not your typical just like landscape. Like that's a landscape, yeah, but it's like in this really high, you know, red tones, high like saturated kind of imagery. But yeah, I don't know. My styles range, so it's like it's hard for me to put it into one particular box, if you will.
That's good though, right? I feel like giving that type of range allows you to explore more creative outlets, right? If you're just not isolated or fixed on just kind of one medium or one technique or one style, you build upon it, right? And then it gives you this incredible palette where you can say, you know what, today I'm going to do it like this and I'm going to add a little bit of this.
Yeah, definitely. And like with this new series, it's I like challenge myself. I like to like challenge myself by painting different things that I'm not so used to painting. So then I can get acquired with these certain techniques that require that you need for certain like styles of painting. You know, whether that's like realism, like abstract, or just all these different styles. You know, I try to kind of work with them just so I can have them in my toolbox in case I need to like revisit them. I'm not so like, oh, I've never done this before. Like, oh, I remember how I did this. I can kind of go back to those moments where I painted those paintings and just reference those techniques with whatever I'm working on. So yeah, man, yeah, it's cool. I like to I just like playing with a lot of color too. I don't know. I had never studied color theory or anything, but over the years, I feel like I've just like acquired this ability to like know what colors go well with each other, and that's just like a continuing process of messing around with a bunch of different mediums and styles and different things like that. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Man, I love that. That's incredible. Because, yeah, I remember when we were in your studio not that long ago, right? We were doing the photos and the videos, watching you just be like, oh, I need this color, referencing off the iPad, and then being able to mix it so quickly with like all the palettes that you had in front of you was very impressive, because it wasn't like, I'm just going to make this green. It's like, I'm going to make this very distinct shade of kind of like a soft, mint, vibrant green because you were working on the portrait of yourself where you're laying down.
I almost brought that one. Yeah. There was all types of different shades of every color that go into mixing for a painting like this particular painting right here. There's probably like 12 different reds in that, you know, and I mix all my colors when I'm in the studio, you know, like I know how to make a beautiful like mint green, like you were saying, or something. I know how to like a little bit of this with a little bit of that and a lot of this, and then just like messing around with it. But that just comes from just like some years now of making my own colors with oil paint, you know. So yeah, man, thank you. Yeah, it's a
skill set for sure, dude. Especially because it's one that takes time, like you said, right? It wasn't like from one day to the next you're like, sick, I know how to mix all these colors, or I know how to get this type of range. It's like you practice, you tried, you messed up, you got it right, and you had to then retain that information and then just know, okay, sick, 20% of this, 40% of that, and you know, boom, put them together, I'm gonna get this color. Yeah, no, that's incredible, bro.
Yeah, definitely trial and error for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So how much of your career would you say has been like trial and error, right? Just like you're trying things and then you put them out there and you're just kind of like, fuck, man, I hope they stick.
That's the fucking 100% of that shit. Nah, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. No, a good portion of that is a lot of me stepping into the unknown. And I feel like there's this quote by Kobe, he says, if you're afraid to do something, then chances are you're probably going to fail, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's kind of inevitable to kind of fear the fear, but like not let it hold you back. Like don't let that resistance kind of stop you from doing whatever it is you're doing, and kind of just like jumping in, you know, like, hey, this is this particular painting, this is this style, here it is, share it with the world, you know, and just doing it for the essence of the art itself, you know what I mean? But yeah, back to the question, it's like a good percentage of of my career has just been me venturing out, which it's helped because it's like I've succeeded a lot with those different styles, but I've also failed a lot. So it's been a good back and forth of, learning from the mistakes and the failures while like also learning from the wins too, and just kind of putting those together and figuring it out. But yeah, it's like a nonstop journey of just like venturing out into the unknown, if you will, and just jumping in that deep end of the pool and just like figuring out how to swim again. I always say that, but yeah, it's been a good portion of my career. Yeah, dude.
I mean, but that's important. I feel like without having to chase that fear, right? Because it's fear and excitement are the exact same emotion internally. It's just how we choose to label them. You still get that like feeling in the middle of your stomach. Like think about it when you're excited to ride like a roller coaster, it's that same feeling of fear, but we say I'm excited. And so if you just relabel all these things that come up as fear as like, fuck it, I'm just excited for this opportunity and I'm just going to let it go and see what happens. I feel that gives you so much power, like you said, because now it's like, you're not afraid to try. Like you said, when you walked in, like this new piece that you're working on, right? Like you're trying landscapes now. That's you just trying because that's what feels right to you. And that's what's incredible. It's like, you're not necessarily creating because you want to appease people or you want to appease a certain demographic who's liked maybe a previous style of your work. You're like, no, I'm on this, from the outside looking in, this journey of continuous self-exploration into my body of work, which is this art. And I'm just going to see how it goes about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not necessarily like doing these pieces for like the Instagram likes or the photo or anything, but like truly just doing the paintings because I want to do it and I believe in the essence of what I'm doing. And from there, I feel like if you're coming at it from a true perspective and like a real place, and then like once you're done, like I also heard this on the podcast, was focus on the output, not the outcome. So it's like with anything, that just goes in life in general, but like with the art specifically, it's like in that moment, I'm not focused. Yeah, I'm trying to get material to post online to like, deal with the marketing shit of things. But like during that time that I'm working on that piece, I'm just like focused on that piece, not worried about what it's going to look like in the end, but just like focusing on those brush strokes, on that color palette, what I need to use, and then just letting that breathe. And oftentimes, it just speaks for itself. Like, you know what I mean? The work speaks for itself. So, yeah, it's fun, dude. It's cool. I really enjoy it. Originally, I'm from Alpine, Texas. It's out in West Texas. When I was in the third grade, I started taking art lessons from one of my grandfather's bandmates. They were in a band together in the past, and he's still doing art to this day. But I took art lessons with him for 3 years. And then from there, I feel like that's kind of where my love for creating just began. And from there, we moved out of Alpine, and then we kind of had I lived in Round Rock for a year, and then majority of my adolescence was in Midland, Texas. And if you know anything about Midland, it's like, it's not much of an artsy vibe to it. There's culture there, but it's not like a hip culture, like any type of art culture there. It's more so oil filled, kind of centered. It's a crazy place. But I went to high school there, and I took art classes in high school with a particular teacher, Jane Becker. And I was just like always, like I just had a love for art. And in class, I would always excel. Like I went to state in art and just really loved to create, And I went to school for a little bit, but it really wasn't my vibe. So then I just it was like, you know what, I'm just going to move to Austin. And I came here with like not that much money in my fucking account. And I just started I had a part-time job where I was working, or full-time job really, where I was working for like 4 years, but still maintaining to go out and meet people and go out and get my work in different shows around town and just trying to get my name out there, And yeah, I just, as the years progressed, I feel like my name started to get a little bit a little bit well known around the city, and yeah, it's just kind of been this journey of always loving the act of creating in whatever way it is, you know, and I've been doing it professionally now, I guess you could say, for the past like 3 years. So yeah, it's just been this like huge journey of putting myself out there in weird random places and shaking hands with awesome people and just getting my name out there, networking, you know, and just putting myself out there. And yeah, it's just been this whole evolution from like 3rd grade to now. And like I had a show with my art teacher. He's like, I want to say he's like in his late 60s, maybe 70s now, but out in West Texas, they have like a weekend before Thanksgiving where it's like an art walk and there's like galleries open and everything. 'Cause it's a really artsy small town. Yeah, we had a show together, and it was like this crazy full circle moment where like I'm showing artwork with him.
That's awesome.
We're showing artwork with each other, and it's like I just remember like hugging him and like fucking crying. It was just a really cool moment of just like, because he was like one of the first people, I guess you could say, that like got me started into art. So it was like this really cool moment. But yeah, we still talk and everything. I still text him every now and then. But yeah, that's kind of my journey of being an artist, has just been putting myself out there, man. Yeah, and just seeing what happens. Trusting in my ability and like having a family that supports me. My mom or my dad, they were never like, what are you doing with the art? They always like pushed me to be an artist and to be creative. And like my grandparents as well. My grandfather's a great guitar player, like super artsy dude. So it's always been a part of my life. I never got any pushback or anything. Although there was times where they were like, what are you doing? Like, come on, you got to make something happen. And that's just inevitable. It just kind of takes a little bit of a art world in general. It just takes a little bit of time to kind of get going. But yeah, I couldn't have done it without the support of my family and my friends and my girlfriend, Austin. She's been like an amazing person there by my side for this ride, because last year wasn't the best year, but we stuck through. We fucking got through it. We got through it together, and it's been very helpful to have all the people by my side who believe in me and supported me. So it's fucking cool, man.
That's incredible, man. Let's talk about that, how support is so instrumental. Like even from a young age, you know, if imagine you're a 3rd grader and, you know, you start creating art and somebody's like, nah, that's not good. Get out of here with that. Like how demoralizing could that have been to your whole life, right?
Definitely.
And so that you had a teacher who not only taught you the craft, but invested in you as a person, right? To help you really blossom and to be able to go back full circle and have a show with that. I bet you that was so rewarding, just to be like, look, dog, I did it. Like, check it out. We've been at this for so long and here we are together. Like, what a beautiful feeling. And then, yeah, like the support of your family, very much the same way. Like, I'm super thankful that just like we have that support, because it allows you to believe in yourself that much more when things are already scary as it is. And especially as an artist, to have to be vulnerable and, you know, be like, do you guys love what I just spent the past 3 months working on? And to have just somebody there, you know, along the way, like, oh, it's looking great, or like, oh man, it's coming together really well, or oh yeah, get in there and push it, and oh, whatever the case may be, like those boosts of energy, I feel like just keep you going. They keep you going, man.
For sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, very, very fortunate. Like at the show here at the gallery in July, my little brother was here, and he's 12 years old, and he was like following me around everywhere I was going. And like I got a sale, and he was like, oh, you got a sale, you gotta go talk to this person. And it was just like, it's just cool to be able to show my little brothers that a different world, you know, that they're not really used to out in Midland. No shade on Midland. I want to actually put that out there. I may have sounded like I was talking shit. I love Midland. I still have family. My mom lives there, and my brothers live there, and a bunch of my old friends still live there. It just wasn't the place for me. But I love the place. I wouldn't be who I am without it, honestly. So, yeah, I just want to put that out there for anyone in Midland who thinks I was talking shit. I was not talking shit.
No, I feel you, man. It's the same way. I mean, it's because you grew up if I'm from El Paso, right? So West Texas also. So
Oh,
you grew
yeah,
up
that's about as West Texas as it gets, dog.
that's the last little bit, the final frontier, dude. But no, it's you don't want to ever like disparage the place that you're coming from. It served its time, and you're thankful for the beautiful things that you were able to create and experience there, right? But
Yeah, for sure.
after a certain point, when the only thing we're supposed to do is evolve and grow, if you've outgrown that space, then it's time to move on to the next thing. And
I mean, I couldn't have said it better. It's exactly where it's at. And they actually got a really cool new art kind of scene going on right now. So it's awesome to see it kind of like on the come up with, there's more murals there in town now, and there's like little art events, and there's some really amazing artists that live there. So it's cool to see that it's kind of evolving a little bit with the time. So
that's sick, man.
yeah, that's cool.
It's good that the growth is happening. It goes a long way. And now, like you said, you can always go back. And if you want to work there, create some murals there, right? Like now you can give back to where you came from and inspire others. And like you said, your brother was following you around. I'm sure that's going to be something that's forever imprinted in his head as he goes and pursues his passions and whatever he wants to do and how he wants to grow, because you're the trailblazer, right? You're paving the way for your brother to see like this is possible. Nothing is impossible. As long as you go out there, you put yourself out there, you do what you're supposed to do, dog, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So that's incredible, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So tell me about your first mural that you ever landed. What was that experience like? How did you feel?
First mural I ever landed. It's funny. It was at my old buddy. We call him Freshie. His name's Christian, but his dad, this was like in high school now that I think of it. He just wanted like this ESPN logo in his man cave. So I just like did the ESPN logo. That was a way long time ago. Got paid in beer. So that was cool. But like the first official one, the first, like the big one I did was with the group, the Spray TX Collective. The biggest one the first one in like Austin area was Kobe Bryant mural, actually.
Oh, sick.
After they passed like a few years ago. So that one was one of the first ones. Damn, you threw me for a loop on that question, bro. Shit.
No worries. Even if you can't recall the first one, if you just want to talk about maybe which ones have been the most meaningful to you, right? Like the project. I'm sure the Kobe one was a big one. Because
Kobe one was awesome, dude. I grew up a big Kobe fan. I grew up playing basketball and in sports. So that's always been a very close thing to my heart. Although I don't really keep up with that many sports now. I just, basketball I will, football not so much. But yeah. Some of the most memorable ones, for sure, the Kobe one. We just did one in Midland, actually, which is my first like official mural in Midland, which was really cool to like bring some flavor to it was an apartment complex. It's not public. It's inside there. Well, it's public to the people who live there, but it was just cool to kind of create something for that was like Midland based. That was cool. First time I ever did that. So that one was cool. The Moody Center, the new Moody Center, which is like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like to have a piece in there for me is pretty wild because it's a massive piece, and to see everyone or to have everyone like see that and as many people as go through that place, it's fucking incredible. That one was like a learning experience. I like messed up the first time and then I had to like essentially redo it. It was all my fault though. I messed up, honestly. So I like adversity hit. So I had to like learn how to bounce back and learn how to problem solve on a huge, large scale. But then once I did that, it was like so sick whenever I finished. It was worth all the trials and tribulations I had to go to get the finished piece, because it was a lot, honestly. It's a lot. I fucked up. I had to pretty much paint it twice.
Really? What happened?
Yeah, I just got the colors wrong. I was using spray paint when I probably should have been using brush. Colors didn't match up correctly. All on me though. It was my fault. So essentially the people were like, well, this looks a little different. So I was like, you know what? All right, you're right. It does. I see it. So and it's hard to sometimes, like, you're up there 40 feet in the sky or in the air in the space, and it's like you can't just like step back and look and see what you're putting. You got to come down, get off, walk fucking 50 feet back, and it's like this whole process. But I'm not making any excuses. But yeah, I pretty much just messed up, so I had to paint over it, re-sketch or project it and sketch it out, and then I went with with brush paint
brush paint
the whole entire thing. Yeah, that was crazy.
How long did it take you to brush paint the whole thing?
Dude, it surprisingly only took me like 3 days.
Really? That's fast for like having to start over, man.
Yeah, I mean that's just like the painting part. I'm a pretty quick painter. I could paint pretty fast, especially on large scale. It's like somewhat easier in a way. But yeah, the Moody Center mural. I got a mural at the Line Hotel.
Really?
That one's, or like in the Veta Cruz downstairs lobby area by the bar. That one was cool with Mas Cortura. It was cool to do that piece. Yeah, dude. I got actually a really dope mural lined up. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk. I can't really talk about it yet, but okay. It's like one of the bigger, more second biggest project, or there's not actually. It's just another big project coming up that is like gonna be fucking sick. So
here in town.
Here in town, yeah, downtown on 6th Street. So it'll be cool. This huge wall, it's like 12 by 14 by like 60 foot. So it's really long. Really? But yeah, should be cool, man. Doing a mural is crazy. I love doing murals. It's just awesome to let the public see it, you know? Like these paintings, not everyone's going to see this painting, but like if you're in a public mural, it's like millions of people could see it, you know, and get their own type of feel for it. So yeah, man, it's cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful feeling, especially like, for example, yeah, the Veta Cruz one, you know, you're going down Congress, you see it, it's right there. Like it looks rad. And it's nice to not only just have a body of work across town, but it's nice, like, again, to inspire others through the work that you create. And if somebody sees that and they're like, man, I want to do that. How do I do that? Then you've already done so much with your art. Like you've created a thought in somebody else to want to pursue a passion maybe they were unaware that they had, or maybe that they were just kind of sitting on the fence with. And so, yeah, man, I love that. I love that that's been kind of the vibe of everything you've been creating, really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's the true essence of art, is to be able to like inspire, or to like start up a conversation, or to just like help someone realize something they may have never understood really prior. So yeah, I appreciate that, man. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do if I could inspire anyone. So it's like super, super cool.
Yeah, man, because that's our goal, right? The goal is to always leave like a brick behind for the next person underneath us in any which way that we can. If we're leading the way in whatever our respective field is, I don't know, it should be our obligation to create opportunity for other people and let them shine, and whatever the case may be. So I love that you've been up to that, man. So then, okay, tell me a little bit about what else you got going on this year. What's this year looking out for you in the art
I've
world?
got some mural projects in the future. No really like art shows lined up. Which is kind of cool because I like to be able to create freely. But it is also cool to have a show. Not to say that one might not pop up here and there. Actually, we got the show in February with 1301 Gallery with yourself. So that'll be actually really cool. I'm looking forward to that because it's going to be just like you said like 20 artists, right?
20 confirmed artists so far, man. I'm so stoked.
So it's like that'll be cool. Yeah, just some murals lined up. Trying to focus more on the business side of things, the back end of art, because for so long I was just like so focused on creating the work itself, and kind of had a blind eye to the business side of things. So like just getting all my shit lined up, you know, and like getting the website going again, and just kind of get a little bit more official, more professional with this, because in the past it's always just been kind of as it comes, it goes, you know, like kind of thing. Like if I get it, all right, cool. It's like, but being more proactive with all the back end side of things to try and level that game up, which will in turn bring me more opportunities and different things like that. So just kind of focusing more on that while still creating a wide body of work. So
that's sick, man. Yeah. I think that's a good approach. I think, once you can be a little bit more proactive and then just figure out where you can continue to place yourself in this space, right? And have people reach out to you and get in front of your work. It's just I heard a good quote the other day. The magic you're looking for is in the work that needs to be accomplished, right? So it's like, you're never going to get anywhere. All the things that you're looking to happen aren't going to happen until you're in the mix of everything, until you're actually going through that. And you shared that a little bit when we talked for the 24/7 video, right? It's like, you're not looking to be inspired. You're in the process, and through the process, you find the inspiration that you need to create.
Exactly.
And I thought that was pretty powerful when you said that, because it's the truth. Like you don't realize what you need until you're in it. Yeah. And if you don't go through it, you're never going to know the subtle nuances of things that just from the outside looking in, you would never understand, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I look at everything, and you as a video maker, as an artist, as a creator, we look at things differently. We look at the world differently, you know. Not to say we're like searching for inspiration wherever we go, but we're like, if we see something, we take a picture of it, or we like keep a mental image, or we hear something, and then not to say like we're gonna go straight to the whatever we're doing and use that, but it's like, if you're in the studio working on something, like you just said, and something pops up, it's like, oh shit, I got this from that moment. Oh shit, I could do that from that. But that doesn't happen for me unless I'm in there doing something, you know? So it's like, and it could be just the most bullshit of things, just like in there reading a book, in there writing, in there actually painting, just in there hanging out, you know what I mean? Just being in the creative area where your juices are flowing, that causes, like a little trickle down to inspiration, if you will, you know, from everything that you've seen or been a part of. But yeah, man,
it's all just a little spark, huh? Everything's
it's just
a little spark.
It's just a little spark, bro, you know, and it comes sometimes and it goes, you know what I mean? But like whenever it's on, I think it's important to like hone in, not take advantage of it, but like respect it, hone it in, and like just put yourself in there, you know, get the work done, whatever it is, you know, like do that while you got that spark. Cause it's sometimes that shit doesn't come back for a while, you know, like you can like go through these creative ruts and just be like fucking out of it. But like just being in there, doing the smallest of things, I feel like helps to keep that engine oiled, if you will.
No, it's true, man. It's absolutely true, because if you don't capitalize, like, think of it this way, right? It's like you're sitting down, you're working, and maybe you're like, oh, finally, I'm re-energized to get into it. And you get a 3-hour session done and you're like, thank goodness. But if that like inspiration comes and you're like, I'll do it later, and you dismiss it, you're right. It might not ever come, and you might not ever feel that same like enthusiasm about the piece that you're working on to want to like get in there, and it changes the fabric of everything. Yeah,
straight up. Just like a couple nights ago, I was asleep, or we were going to bed, but I couldn't not sleep because I just had this idea of like designing some golf head covers for this company. So I was just like, fuck this idea. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get up. It's 12:30. I cannot sleep, and I'm just gonna go do them right now. But yeah, I don't even know.
How powerful was that though, right? Like how powerful was it to just get up and get the work done and start it? And maybe you weren't able to knock them all out that night, but
I just got it out there. You know what I mean? Rather than, cause I guess that's like a thing, right? That a lot of people start thinking of everything right before they go to bed or something like that. I don't know the whole thing behind that, but for me, a lot of these ideas come where I'm just like laying down, brain just going a million miles per hour, and I need to have a notebook where I could just like write shit down. But yeah, I don't know.
It's always nice. It's nice to have a notebook, or like even voice memos on your phone. Just fucking.
I didn't even think about the voice memo. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because that bad boy's always with you.
Yeah, for real. Got that in my phone. But also on the other side, I feel like it's important to like step away sometimes and like get yourself out of that creative zone, you know, to kind of have that balance, to just kind of let your mind not even like think about work or creativity, just kind of just hang out, dude. Like go on a walk or something, or take a few days off. For me, go on a golf course.
Yeah. At 6:30 in the morning.
Go on the golf course. Dude, that was so nice because it's like you're out there by yourself. You're walking. It's cool outside. It's quiet. There's like beautiful animals and birds out there. So it's like, for me, I like try to maintain that balance of being in that zone, but like totally removing myself from that zone to where I can have my thoughts. Like, you know what I mean? So. Yeah, dude.
It's like you mentioned when you're working on the mural, right? It's like you got to step down, you got to step back 50 feet, take a breather, look at it, relax, go see what else is going on around the world, and then come back to it, you know?
Yeah, like these paintings I'm working on, they're like, when I'm painting them, it's like I'm so close to it where I'm like, this looks like shit from like right here. But then I step back like 10 feet and it's like, woof, oh, here's this image. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool how that works, you know? So... yeah, man, that's cool.
Tell me a little bit more about the series that you're working on right now with the landscapes.
It's called Big Ben is a Dream because whenever we were out there, Austin and I took her out there a few weeks ago, or in December, I think. Yeah. And it's just so magical out there. I'm from that area, and it's just, you'd feel like you're not in this world, really. and she had mentioned that Big Ben is like a dream. Excuse me. So that's like the name of the series, but it's just like it's like a small 3-piece series of photos she took of our time out in Big Ben, and me like painting them in this like red tone, oil paint kind of vibe. But yeah, this is just kind of a little homage to that area, because I got some really great moments there with her and with my friends and my family. And like the next painting I'm working on, it's of this like valley in this like basin on the mountain. But like in the 80s, my grandpa used to give horseback rides to people up and down this mountain in that same area. And I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot about that until I was painting on that. And I was like, damn, I got some like crazy ass ties with this area, you know, that are like way beyond me. So it's just like me paying some respects to the beauty of Big Bend, Mother Nature, West Texas. Yeah, the essence of living out there. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's fun.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I love how much like just authentic value you're able to pull from these paintings, from like what you've experienced, and taking those experiences, or even connecting the dots to experiences that your family have had, and just like the impact that you're able to bring to these. Because again, that's where it's going to resonate with people, right? Like, work is beautiful, right? You create beautiful work, but if you have, like, I feel like, in my opinion, a solid story behind the work that you've created, that's where people are like, outside of just like, man, this is an incredible piece, but they find a little bit of themselves within the piece.
Yeah.
And once they can do that, to me, it's game over. I feel like it's like, oh, I have to have this. There's no way I can live without this piece, because this piece is now a piece of me in a weird way, right?
For sure.
But that's such a gift. That's that transferal of energy from like what you were thinking when you were creating it, when you made it, and then somebody seeing it, and then them being like, this is me, this is mine, this is what I want.
That was like that show I had here with some of these paintings that I had, because those are more like personal. Like my self-portrait, like some of the things that people were telling me were just like, whoa, this is so sick, you know? And like, it's not like I started painting with this story behind it. I'll start the painting and like let the story build itself, essentially, you know what I mean? Some have already pre-existing stories to it or whatever, but a lot of the meaning behind the paintings kind of just like happen along the way. I feel like it's the book writes itself, essentially. You know what I mean? With my painting. So it's very blessed. I feel very blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Because that's a gift. That's creativity at its finest. It's your thoughts turning into tangible items, and that's like, fuck, that's incredible.
I know, that's crazy to think about. Damn. Yeah, our thoughts turning into tangible items, which is that people will pay money for. You know, shit. It's like that's not my goal, but it's like it feels good. You know what I mean? Whenever it gets to live this different life outside of me, which is fucking crazy. Like, to think I got pieces in all types of places around the nation. I would say not the world yet, but the nation is fucking mind-blowing, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Thank you to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Because that's a gift if somebody just really connects with what you have, and they feel proud to put it in their home, and they feel proud to share that work. And it's like, it almost becomes theirs in a weird way, right? It's obviously they bought it, but it becomes more than just like, it's my possession. It's like mine in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that goes a long way.
It's special. It's not like there's not a bunch of sharks out here, you know. Everyone is looking out for everyone, and there's a lot of opportunities there for us to work together and to help each other out. I feel like it's always been like that from the beginning. You know, there's some people who are not like that, of course, but for the most part, I feel like the community in Austin is strong, and we're very fortunate to have that in a growing and changing city, to where like our people remain not the same, but they remain like by our side, and we all remain by each other's side. It's important to have that in a crazy ass world right now. To have those just like people that you can rely on, I think is important. So it's cool to have that. Shout out to Wade. For putting on the beat sessions. Like I was saying, that's like a really cool opportunity for everyone to go and just hang out and shoot the shit and drink some beers and watch some really cool art and just talk shop. So there's not many like events like that anymore. Like there used to be like the whole cherry cola dog thing, and there used to be way more events for artists to go and meet up. But it is what it is. I mean, I guess that's just part of it. But yeah, I feel like the community in Austin right now is popping, and a lot of opportunities are on the rise for artists. So yeah, I'm thankful to be here. Thankful to have been putting in the work to where now it's like starting to pay off a little bit. Yeah. Like when the city wasn't maybe as popping as it is now, to be able to like have been able to get my name out there and yeah,
you've been able to grow with the city, right?
Yeah, grow with the city. It's fucking crazy how much has changed. And I've been here 8 years, but which is crazy. That sounds like a long time, but it's like, damn, I've kind of cemented myself in this city a little bit, because it's not a big city. Like it's big in like number of people, but like the space, like it's fairly small. You run into the same people a lot, you know what I mean? And like everyone knows everyone in this city, so it's kind of cool to become a recognized name in the visual arts world.
Absolutely, especially with all the hard work that you've put into it. It's like
fucking cool.
Fucking well deserved. Are you kidding me? Like absolutely, and they should. And your technical skill is incredible, so that goes a long way as well. Like it's one thing if you're just like just kind of throwing stuff up there willy nilly, but you take the time. Your technical skill again is masterful. So it's nice to see.
Thank you, sir. Man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hell yeah, dog.
Yeah.
But no, it's true. It's cool to see the change in the community. It's cool to see the growth. It's cool to see more opportunity being created. I do think that there's been a change from more of like the DIY events, and now it's just kind of becoming a little bit more formal, like when more gallery spaces are popping up.
Yeah. It has, and I mean this space like 1301 is fucking sick, dude.
Appreciate you.
What you've done with the space and the artists that you've brought in has been really, really fucking cool. So like, yes, like more opportunities are popping up, like galleries like this, who work with some really talented artists who deserve to be in nice galleries it's cool to see. It's cool to see that you're showing love. So we respect it, bro. We respect it. And like I was saying, like, I think I was just talking to the camera, but like when you do things, I feel like you try to do them well, very, very well. You know what I mean? And you come at it with with thought and inclinations, and you like not just like doing it to do it. You're doing it for a purpose, and it shows. It shows in your space, in what you've created with the 1301 gallery. It's fucking cool, dude.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Cheers to you, my guy.
Thanks, man. I'm just lucky to be a part. I'm just very thankful that, like you mentioned, the community did receive me with open arms right out of the gate, right? Because although I've been here similar to you for like almost 10 years, my participation was minimal because I've just been in a room building, right? And just working on all these fucking things. And so when it came time to start talking to artists about the space and getting in front of people, it was like very like nerve-wracking, because again, I've had my friends or whatever the case may be, but you never know if somebody's going to be down with you to show their work in your space, right? Even if they are your homies. Yeah. And so the fact that everybody, I mean, it started with Matt. Shout out to Matt, who put me in front of Skelly. Matt True.
Yeah, that's the homie. Shout out Matt True.
Absolutely.
Hope you're doing well, bud.
Yeah, he's out in New York just fucking doing his thing.
Yeah, man. I love Matt, dude.
Yeah, he's a good person, man. He really came in strong for that first exhibition that we had, and he opened the door to get me in front of Skelly, get me in front of you, get me in front of everybody. And then just from there, everybody was so kind. And that's really where I feel more in debt, I feel like, to the community than anything. I feel like if I'm going to do this, it should be solely focusing on giving others opportunity to show their work and their craft and their talents. And then everything else will come secondary.
Definitely. Yeah, the whole focus on the output, not the outcome. I've been living by that lately. Yeah. But yeah, dude, you've done a wonderful job with the space.
Well, sick, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, flowers to you, my guy.
Thanks. Sure. Tony showed me to receive flowers, because usually I'm just like, nah, no worries, no big deal. But he made it a good point that day that we had the workshop here, that he was like, no, you should accept the flowers when somebody gives it. And you don't have to be like egotistical about it. You just say, thank you, I appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of, taking a step back and like being like, all right, I am doing something right here. That's important too, to just not pigeonhole yourself into like a grind mode, to step back and be like, all right, I did this. I can step back. I can, embrace the things, embrace the praise. And not coming at it from an egotistical way, but just coming at it from a more like, I don't know, like thankful and just
humble, appreciative.
Humble way. So Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about all the artists that I've been fortunate to work with over the course of this year, right? Is everybody is just so humble. Like you are so humble, and that's really why I was super stoked to even just have you like be our first guest, because one, you're very authentic, you're genuine about the things that you're talking about. I don't feel like you hold back, and yeah, it's nice to just be able to have that real genuine connection when we were completely strangers last year this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. Yeah, I think that just comes from my upbringing, just like my family, and being raised to always just be thankful and to be like a kind person and to just always give thanks back to whoever is helping you out. And it's just like how I was raised to just always be try and be a good person. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how I try to live by.
Shit, you're living by it, dog.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So what else you got going on this year, man? What are some of the big goals that in your head you're like, I really want to accomplish this with my art this year, if anything?
So I want to focus more on some mural work right now. Last year it was kind of slow in that area. I really want to like dive into the mural work, public art, installations, and get my name out there as a muralist. I feel like, I'm known for my murals, but last year I kind of focused more on my studio work. I had a couple of shows, one here and then one in Commerce Gallery, and I kind of just dove more into my studio work. So, but this year I just really want to like get that mural part of my repertoire down and be able to like travel out of state and, you know, do work outside of state. But yeah, focusing on that, focusing a lot of just on the business side, like I was saying, you know, getting that thing straight so I can function a little bit smoother, you know what I mean? And other than that, man, just like maintain what I'm doing, really, because it's got me here. So it's just like a matter of maintaining the flow of things right now and just trying to focus on what I could focus on for that day, not thinking too far ahead, but just like also planning for the future a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, just got some jobs coming up in the near future. So just kind of getting ready for those, designing for those. I would like to have a show somewhere, but we'll see. It'll probably be like in the later end of the year, because the first part of the year is kind of busy right now with these mural projects. So yeah, man, just like taking it as it comes, but also going and getting it. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like this job, it just kind of came to me from previous works with this company. So it's like I wasn't looking for it. It just kind of came out of nowhere, which was a delightful surprise, but also maintaining my like going out there, like fucking cold calling if that's what it takes to like get a mural, or just like going up to businesses and talking to them and whatever, doing our pitch. Kind of just like maintaining that whole balance of that. But yeah, I would say focusing more on my mural work this year and the business side of art, which is like I'm like learning that side of things. I could paint you a goddamn beautiful painting, but the business side I still need some practice with. So that's kind of my main focus, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like that's a shared sentiment in the community, is like the business aspect to art is always a challenge, because yeah, it's one thing to be able to create beautiful pieces, but all the like the boring detail stuff of everything is like
that shit sucks, dog. To be honest, I'm like, fuck, I'm not. I like to I have business tendencies, and I can be a businessman, but I'd rather focus more on the art side of things, you know?
Yeah.
But whenever you're like a small business or small, you know, like I don't have a team of people, so it's like I got to be everything right now at least. So it'll help in the long run. Oh shit.
A little mic blow. Yeah, no, I think it will. I think it's I think you have the right perspective.
It'll help. But yeah, man, just 2024, man. We'll see what happens, dude. I want to take at least like one cool trip this year. I know you're a guy about going to cool places and things like that, so I want to take.
Where you want to go?
I don't know yet, man. We're kind of still figuring that out, Austin and I, because we both want to go on a trip together. So,
you guys trying to keep it like in the States?
Probably keep it in the States. Probably keep it in the States for now.
Sorry, dog.
No, you're good.
You're Jeff, I'm struggling with this mic. It fell down, so just give me a sec if you notice a weird pause.
Awesome. We are back.
Okay, yeah. So tell me
yeah,
about where you want to go, man. Let's see these trips. What are you thinking?
No, she's never been to New York City, so I would love to go to take her to New York City. It's always a good time. But yeah, I don't know, just getting out there and seeing more of the world, the nation. So yeah, that's definitely on the plan for this year.
Nice.
Take at least one good trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sick. It's kind of that step away.
Yeah, that step away to just live a little bit, you know. Fuck, I feel like that's important too. So
yeah, I feel like we forget so much.
Yeah, just stuck in this like hustle bustle where we forget like, oh shit, there's a river right down the street. Let's just go look at the water and just sit there, you know.
Yeah.
Something so simple as that for me is just so special and like meaningful. Get my feet on grass, get my body in water. I love being in water. It's kind of shitty weather right now, but I love to be in water, so that's always nice. But yeah, man.
That's tight, man. No, I feel that. I feel like it is good to ground and get out there and just reconnect with everything. Mm-hmm. So what is the process for like being able to secure a mural right now in Austin? What does that look like?
So there's a lot of open calls on City of Austin or publicartist.org. It's kind of a hassle and a pain in the ass, to be honest, to apply to those. But I would say just like apply to everything, because you get way more no's than you get yeses, obviously. But like the more you apply to these artist calls all around the nation, really, mural calls, mural festivals, they're just like open applications. That's kind of how I've gone about things for these next jobs. I've worked with the company in the past, and I was on this like artist list for these particular collaborations they were doing for the Austin area, and the client chose my work. So like the agency essentially has a deck of my work, and they send these clients my body of work, and then from there it's like out of my hands. It's all in the client. So it's like kind of you never know, dude. Like you never know when it's gonna happen. So I was saying it just came out of nowhere, and it's fucking cool. But yeah, that's kind of how that process goes. There's also we've also been just like going fucking cold calling, going door to door, you know, respectfully, with the business aspect. And we have like a little portfolio printed out and everything, so we can show them the work we've done. And social media as well. Social media is a big help in getting murals, and then just some creative agencies I've worked with in the past around town. They've helped a lot in the past, but and now. So yeah, it's kind of a tricky world to get into. I don't recommend doing anything for free, but it's like when it comes to creative work, but if there's just like a small little wall or something that you can go and jam on, go do it, dude. Just to get, I know it's like this weird, like a portfolio piece or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, fuck. Even if they could pay for supplies, like fine, that's fine. At least you're not coming out of pocket for really anything. It's just your time at that point. But trying to get out there. I mean, I've done my fair share of free murals in the past to get a piece up, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, it's like a fine line between that. If you can get paid a little bit, for sure, go for that, you know, try and reach for that. But if not, for anyone that's like in the come up of art, just like, yeah, maybe go do a couple small projects for something, and then use that and make sure to get like footage for it so you can use on your socials and shit like that. Fucking social media, God.
Yeah, let's talk about social and how everybody hates the thing where you have to hold your painting and slowly turn around and reveal it to the world.
Bro, it's like it's fucking weird, honestly. But it's just like something that we have to do.
What a weird trend, yeah. Huh?
Yeah, it's like a weird trend when you turn around with your painting. That's kind of cringe, honestly. But we like, if you like, websites are a thing, but not everyone is going to the website. Everyone's on Instagram, right? So it's like there's so much traffic there to where you kind of gotta be active on there as much as you can while maintaining like integrity to yourself and to your work, which is like why I try to tell people how I'm feeling about painting or what. Most of the time, if I'm like, I'll talk about whatever that was going on with the painting or something like that. Like this 3-piece series, I've been getting a bunch of just like footage of like working on all 3 paintings. And then I'm gonna get like Austin has a bunch of footage of us like out there. So she's gonna like, she's a video editor, videographer. So she's gonna edit this little piece for me, but I'm gonna like talk on it rather than just put music on it. Cause I guess that drives more attention or something. So just like getting different, getting savvy with like the way you go about things and like the whole hashtag thing, like it's like, it looks kind of nasty on a post, but like I'll pick and choose if I'm getting personal with a post and I'm like writing something, I won't put like ... and all these hashtags.
Gotcha.
But if it's like a new painting where it's just the title, information, whatever mediums, I'll put some hashtags on there. You know what I mean? But it's a tricky world. It's fucking, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I hate to see that there's that trend going because it's forcing like artists to have to kind of like it makes it seem more of a commodity than like an actual piece of fine art when you're creating your work. It seems like, I get it, like, yeah, you want to sell it, but when you have every single body person in my feed like slowly turning around, and it's everybody's doing it. I don't know.
I've done it. Shit.
Yeah, I haven't even noticed. I'm gonna have to go see. But then it goes to show,
I was
like
the first one. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm fucking around.
But it goes to show like that. Yeah, no, I think the approach that you spoke on sharing your words about the work that you're creating, and rather than just overlaying it with music, is going to go so much further, because people are going to fall in love with your work, yes, but then they're going to get to know you, and then they're going to fall in love with you as a person. And that, I feel like, is when your work is inseparable from you, and then you don't have to be doing all these little silly things that like all these artists are doing. It's like people are just going to be so enamored by like the value that this work was created for, or like where you were at, or why you decided to go down this. Everybody likes to know why, like what's the why behind this piece. And if you can put a real strong why, and you're sharing your authenticity and even being vulnerable with your work, again, that's what connects. It's like that genuine feeling of like, oh, this is why he did it. I can respect that. I can empathize with that. I understand that. I lived that. I went through that. Whatever the case may be that they attach value to. That goes a long way. But I'm excited to see you start talking it up on the fucking feed, man.
Yeah, on the little microphone or whatever. I don't know. I think she has a mic I could use. But
anything you need, man. Hell yeah. I'm excited to see it, dude. It's going to be good.
She's the video guy, so she knows how to do all that. I'm going to let her do that, and then I'm going to just focus on getting a little footage here and there and creating the artwork. But yeah, I was telling her the other day, I was like, I want to make like a little 3-4 minute, like a little short film or something. Sick, like, I don't know about what, but like, I think that'd be sick, dude.
Yeah.
Just something like different, you know what I mean? It's just like within the year. But yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with that.
No, then you will. I mean, you will make it. That's the thing. Again, it's like, that's the cool thing, is we get to think, and if it really means something to us, then we can ideate the steps that we want to accomplish to make that thought a reality again.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's like the gift as creatives that we have, is like everything is just an idea at one point until we say, okay, cool, now we're going to bring it into existence in this like material plane. And that's fucking cool. So if you want to fucking do a 4-minute movie, fucking bang that bitch out. I'm going to be the first one to see it. Come on.
We'll have a premiere in there, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll absolutely throw it up in there. We'll have a whole premiere for that movie if you do it, dude.
That'd be sick, honestly. Yeah, that's just like something that's a high thought.
No, I'm here for it, man. I am here for it. So what have been some of the challenges that you've seen kind of start to come about here in Austin and in the community that like maybe a few artists are kind of feeling these days?
Clients wanting the typical skyline, the typical bats, the typical state capitol design, you know, which I get. Like, I know it's Austin and it's very pleasing to the eye, but that kind of takes away from the creativity that they're looking for. And if they're searching for an artist, you know, it's like, it's so cookie cutter sometimes with design aspects, that they just want one certain thing. It'd be dope that if, I don't know, they could kind of let, I haven't really run into that problem necessarily, but I know people who have, or like, you know, different things like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of if you're just like up and coming, which I'm up and coming, we're all fucking up and coming. Yeah. It's a little bit harder to get your foot in the door. You know what I mean? That's why I would say just go out there and paint anything if you can. But getting your foot into the door is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. You know, once you're in there, you can kind of maneuver and do that as you learn. But yeah, I'd just say kind of sometimes the design aspects that clients are wanting are a little bit boring. This is no shade on them or anything. I'm not talking shit, but it's like, let us do our thing, dude. Like, let us kind of have some little bit of fun with it while maintaining your aesthetic and your beliefs or your images that you want to put in there. You know, let us have a little fun with it. But yeah, man, I'd say that's about it. I don't know. I really don't find that. I think this place there's so many opportunities right now that it's kind of hard to be picky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if an opportunity comes your way, you gotta like take it as it comes and kill it, dude. You gotta rock it out. So yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good way to view it. Every opportunity, treat it like the first.
Mm-hmm.
Every opportunity, like it's
Definitely.
the first time you've ever had an opportunity in your life. And if you do that, then I feel like you can never look back and be like, you'll never have those I wish clouds, right?
I wish clouds. Goddamn. Yep, those motherfuckers again. Yeah, man. Yeah, taking each opportunity as a new one, you know, and just going about it the same way you would the first project to your 50th project. You know, it's all relatively the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fair. All right, man. So let's see. One last question, dog. We'll wrap this up. What do you got for just anybody coming up, a new artist, whether they're just starting off, if they're halfway through their career and maybe they haven't found the success that they're looking for? Just any words of encouragement or ideas for them, man. What do you got for them?
I would say, let me think.
Yeah.
Do it for yourself. Do it for the sake of creating, the essence of creating. Do not look at the dollar amount you're trying to get the piece sold for. Don't look too far in the future. Be present with where you're at. And if you're going to create any type of artwork, like, create it, like, do it and finish the project that you start. You know what I mean? Do it for the love of creating, do it for the sake of art. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the rest will kind of panel itself out, however it may be. It may work, it may not, but then that's where you learn. That's where you go back to the drawing board. But the whole Mamba mentality, get better every day in whatever aspect. And that's so much easier said than done. And even if it's just like a small thing that you do for the day, or like just try and better yourself every day as a person, as a creative, as a mother, as a father, as a brother, as a sister, whatever it is. Just like try and get better every day. And yeah, do art for the purpose of doing art. You know what I mean? Create that shit to create art for the love of art. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what I would say.
No, that's fantastic, man. I think that's a great way to view it. And to, not so focus on what it's going to bring you, but more so on like what you're giving through the piece, right? Mm-hmm. Like what you're putting out there.
Definitely.
I love that, dog.
Yeah.